This is Sandeep here, and we have Raghav with us, who recently scored a 740 score. And a friend of his also joined some time back. His name is Shoaib Kohli, and who also scored a 740. So just wanted to have a little chat with him as to what worked. The date was 15th of September.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Raghav. So I'd like to know exactly what worked for you in this course and what is it, that you were really struggling with. And eventually, let's say, in how much time were you able to score this? Please tell me.
I was struggling a lot with quant initially. So I actually spoke to Aman, and this is the very good thing about top 1% is that the support team is really good. So Aman, kind of made it very clear to me. He said just go through the basics videos, with a lot of sincerity, take notes on every single thing, be very clear on all your concepts, and then your base course is really good. I mean, your quant base course, I think. If somebody can really do it sincerely in hindsight, I think if you do the basics and the base course, you're already in a pretty good position. In quant and in verbal. And then if you add to that the homeworks, the classes, your question sets. I think the actual test, I found it quite easy by the end of it.
So there was nothing unusual you would say on the test?
Not at all. Not at all.
So take me through, apart from the basics, take me through your preparation in quant, as you definitely said was a challenge area, sentence correction, critical reasoning, and reading comprehension, respectively. And then I'll ask you about your mock and the real exam experience. So prep, apart from the basics, please take me through that.
So outside of the basics, there is your base course that I did. I did the whole thing, start to finish. I solved every question. I watched your explanations. I learned your techniques. Especially with I think with number theory and with geometry, because I actually got 4 geometry questions on my actual test, which is quite unusual. But your questions had really helped me with that. I didn't feel challenged. I did your 700 set. That you recommend for practice after the course is completed. Right. So that was it in quant. Outside of that, for RC, I did your RC practice test, obviously. All your practice material. I came for the classes. I did all the homework. With SC, I found your course very helpful. I think just the wealth of questions that we have there, it's so many. And I think if you solve them all and then you watch your videos, and it's quite a marathon. I mean,
I know it is. Yeah.
So, but I think if one gets through that, I think you're ready. I don't think there's anything much in SC that would really, I think, confuse you on the day.
All right.
Critical
reasoning. Yeah.
With CR, I did your stuff topic wise. So I think that's a very good thing to break it up because each topic, while they're quite similar, I think they are slightly different, to each other. So it does require that kind of focus on one thing at a time. So I did your classes, I did your base course, I did your 700 set.
That's a lot. That means you did a lot in CR as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Once I hear, once someone goes through all your explanations, how do you pick the correct premise? Because sometimes in the harder CR questions, as you know better, that sometimes you take the wrong premise or you take the wrong conclusion, and then the options won't make sense to you. So it's very important to just nail that down.
Yeah. To describe your test experience, was there anything unusual in terms of question type or pacing, or you felt it was pretty smooth for you?
It was. At no point did I feel uncomfortable. I almost thought, I thought for a second maybe I'm not doing well because it wasn't getting that difficult, and so I thought maybe I'm not doing well, but then I saw that score at the end and I was very happy with it.
Right. And the prep side also didn't challenge you beyond a point, like the mocks, etc. You were comfortable, right, in that?
Yeah, I would say I think it was in one of your classes, or I think separately you had mentioned that mocks number 5 and 6 are, I think, more realistic of the actual GMAT. So I focused on those, and it actually, I think 2 days before the GMAT, I took mock 6. I got a 740, exactly the same score.
Great.
And then I showed up for the exam, and it felt the same. Yeah. So.
Fabulous to know. And obviously you had a friend of yours also who some time back scored a 740 with us. So I interviewed him as well after this thing. So where are you applying now with a decent score and everything in your favor? I think I saw your profile, so it's really absolutely wonderful. So where are you applying now?
So actually, I reached out to Autry, who I believe is aligned with your institute.
Right. He is part of our institute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So He already had me apply to LBS, and now I'll be doing INSEAD.
How much time should ideally one take, let's say, to get this score? If you were to be sincere, let's say 3 hours a day, if you could give, what would be your estimate? Like,
Well, it's a bit embarrassing for me, but I would honestly say I think 3 months. I think 2 months of your classes. If you're very sincere, if you've done every basic video properly, if you've done the base course very sincerely, and your classes, and taken notes even in your classes, in your base course, how do you approach,
yeah, I
each
remember you were part of the
question.
live batch, so I
Yeah,
do
I was
know
in the
that.
live batch. I was in the classes. So
Right.
I think 2 months of your classes, and I think if you've done it sincerely, I think maybe 3 weeks to a month after that of just practice to stay in touch with it. Maybe take a mock or two, and I think you're good. I think
All
it's
right,
fine.
all right. So thanks. I mean, this was really wonderful chatting with you, and
Thanks.
all the very best for your applications. Really
Thank
keep in
you.
touch, and anytime you need any assistance, probably particularly with HBS, because I look into those applications myself
Okay.
as well in case you're applying.
Okay. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
do get in touch, please.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah, I
you.
will. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Sandeep.
you.